Okay, so here's something wild. The original Anaconda from 1997 had a budget of $45 million, and it somehow managed to gross over $136 million worldwide. That's a lot of money for a movie about a giant snake terrorizing people in the jungle.
That's actually incredible. And it makes sense why they'd want to revisit that concept, especially with a cast like Jack Black, Paul Rudd, and Thandie Newton. But this isn't just a reboot, right? It's more like a meta-take on the original.
Exactly. Anaconda 2025 isn't just trying to recreate the original, it's poking fun at it while also telling its own story. The premise is that Jack Black's character, Doug McAllister, is this guy who once dreamed of making movies, but ended up stuck editing wedding videos. He's living this quiet, stable life with his wife and kid when his old friend, played by Paul Rudd, shows up with this crazy idea to reboot Anaconda.
And the twist is that they're not just rebooting it. They're actually heading into the Amazon jungle to shoot it, right? That's such a fun, chaotic setup. It's like a movie within a movie, but with real stakes because, there's an actual giant snake involved.
Right? And that's where the comedy and tension come from. You've got this group of amateur filmmakers, each with their own baggage, trying to make a low-budget creature feature in one of the most dangerous places on Earth. And of course, things go horribly wrong. Friendships are tested, secrets come out, and not everyone makes it out alive.
That's what makes it so interesting, though. It's not just about the snake, it's about the dynamics between these characters. Like, Paul Rudd's character, Ronald Griffin Jr., is this overly optimistic dreamer who's clearly holding on to the past. And then you've got Jack Black's Doug, who's torn between his responsibilities at home and this chance to recapture his youthful passion.
And the supporting cast really adds to that dynamic. Thandie Newton plays Claire Simons, who used to date Griffin, and is now at a point in her life where she feels like she has nothing to lose. Steve Zahn is Kenny Trent, the cinematographer who's battling addiction and has a complicated history with Doug. These aren't just caricatures. They're flawed, relatable people.
And then there's Selton Mello as Santiago Braga, the snake handler who treats this giant anaconda like it's his pet. That's such a bizarre but brilliant character choice. It adds this layer of absurdity to the story, but it also makes you wonder, how does someone even form a bond with a deadly snake?
Well, that's part of the charm of the movie. It leans into the ridiculousness without losing sight of the emotional core. And then there's Daniela Melchior as Ana Almeida, the boat captain with her own mysterious backstory. She's being chased by mercenaries, which adds another layer of tension and intrigue to the plot.
So it's not just a comedy. It's got action, drama, and even a bit of mystery. That's a lot to pack into one movie, but it sounds like they pull it off. And honestly, Jack Black is the perfect lead for something like this. He's so good at balancing humor with heart.
Oh, absolutely. Jack Black brings this energy to the role that makes you root for Doug, even when he's making questionable decisions. He's hilarious, but there's also this underlying sweetness to his performance, especially in the scenes with his wife and kid. You can tell he's genuinely torn between his family and this wild adventure.
And Paul Rudd as the instigator is just perfect. He's so good at playing these hopeful, slightly delusional characters. Griffin might be a little out of touch with reality, but his optimism is infectious. You can see why Doug and the others would follow him, even if they know it's a terrible idea.
That's what makes the movie work. It's not just about the spectacle of a giant snake, it's about these characters and their relationships. You want them to succeed, even when everything is going wrong. And trust me, a lot goes wrong.
I can imagine. The jungle itself is already a dangerous place, and then you add a giant anaconda into the mix? That's a recipe for disaster. But it sounds like the movie balances the chaos with some genuinely heartfelt moments.
It does. And it's not afraid to get dark either. Not everyone makes it out alive, and the ones who do are forever changed. But even with all the drama, the movie never loses its sense of fun. It's this perfect mix of comedy, action, and heart.
And let's not forget the cameos. I won't spoil anything, but I've heard there are a couple of surprise appearances that really add to the humor. It's like the filmmakers knew exactly how to keep the audience engaged.
Yeah, those little touches make a big difference. The movie knows exactly what it is, and it leans into that with confidence. It's not trying to be high art, it's just trying to entertain. And honestly, it succeeds. It's a solid 6.5 out of 10, which might not sound amazing, but for a movie like this, it's more than enough.
Sometimes that's all you need. Not every movie has to be a masterpiece. Sometimes you just want to sit back, laugh, and enjoy the ride. And it sounds like Anaconda 2025 delivers exactly that.
It really does. It's the kind of movie that reminds you why you love going to the theater in the first place. It's ridiculous, it's over the top, and it's just plain fun. And sometimes that's exactly what you need.
Couldn't agree more. If you're in the mood for a wild, laugh-out-loud adventure with a surprisingly heartfelt core, this is the movie for you. Just don't go in expecting anything too serious. This is pure, unadulterated entertainment.
And that's what makes it great. So grab your popcorn, suspend your disbelief, and get ready for a wild ride. Anaconda 2025 might not win any awards, but it'll definitely leave you with a smile on your face.
And maybe a newfound appreciation for Jack Black's ability to make even the most absurd scenarios feel totally believable.
Absolutely. Here's to more movies that embrace the chaos and remind us not to take life, or giant snakes, too seriously.
Cheers to that.
You've been listening to Movies First.
Available at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or your favourite podcast player. You can also stream on demand at Bytes.com.
This has been another quality podcast production from Bytes.com.